Richest Roots drink works for menstrual cramps and pain, migraines, fatigue, stress and tiredness, sinusitis, builds immune defense, bloating, enhances male bedroom prowess, and Richest Sorrel Roots drink works against all types of cancers and tumors, memory loss, high cholesterol, insomnia, nervous issues, flu, and many other illnesses. For your Richest Roots drink and Richest Sorrel Roots drink, contact us now via WhatsApp at 876-528-9534. Richest Roots drink and Richest Sorrel Roots drink. Richest, a true Jamaican experience.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is the show where you get your sporting experience. Welcome to all the persons on Facebook. Yeah, man. We're here. And of course, you know the golden rule. People. Like the stream. Yeah, man, we encourage you to like the stream. Yeah, so welcome to everyone. We'll be talking about the FIFA visits JFF regarding restructuring. We'll also be talking about the delegation to Spain, just to give you a little update on that. Yeah, and some things going on at National Stadium a while ago, people. Yeah, man, a great thing going on in a National Stadium a while ago. People have been talking about the male sprinting. Well, Oblique Civil just ran 9.86 seconds. I'll just leave it there. Big up the ultras them, Big up the ultras them checking in. Yeah, man, big up the ultras checking in. Respect our manners. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Just remember the golden rule. Like the stream. You can also share the stream, Yeah, man, tell a friend to tell a friend about the coach's desk. Because pure things are going on in this world of sports, people. Yeah, man. A lot of things happening in the world of sports. So, big up on yourself. Yeah, thanks very much for tuning in. And we hope to have another wholesome discussion. Yeah, man, another wholesome discussion. Big up to George Davis who stopped by, and it was such a great conversation. People, are you hearing me? Check. Are you hearing me? Me just see something come up, say I lost connection to my mic. Are you hearing me? Check. Testing. All right, good again. Okay. I see something come up on the screen. You have lost connection to your mic. All right. So, yeah, man. Hey, brain drain. You can't get the same thing for that 9.86 then a brain drain. No disrespect. A Calabar. You have to be exceptional to the Calabar old boy. Oh, yeah, talk some man. Yeah, so KY is welcome. Chris King, welcome. And big up yourself. Tennessee, welcome and big up yourself. Oblique squad, roll out. Nah, I tell you, if Ferrari roll out. Um, Leon Price, 986 crew. Boss, we love coach for the work. Big up. Yeah, man, big up yourself, KY. Owen, bless up coach and the man them. Rob Smith, big up yourself. Coach finally some hope. Yeah, man. At Chile, big up yourself. New professional. JFF we need. That would I want for real. Civil makes me feel good about the men again. Of course, didn't forget Elaine 1094. Yeah, man. Oblique Civil did his thing, bro. Yeah, man. Blaze up the stadium there. Check. Big up to the Erudites, Eagle Republic, Jason Ferran, Brain Drain, Leon Price. Civil have one of the smoothest running style from Calabar days, of course. Yeah, no, I should host the track show. I tell everybody the Jamaican men team is coming. Rob Smith, a serious matters, you know. If you need, yeah, we need a co-host or a host, man. Oh yeah, say, man. Link me after here, man. Big up yourself, man. That's serious matters, you know. But brain drain, we should even put up that $2, oblique civil road sub 10 and a 1086. And at that you do for the super chat. Come on, brain drain. Come on, brain drain. All right, the sound gone muted. Good now. Yeah, good again. All right. Heavy rain and lightning in Jacksonville. Yeah. Might not get to see the seventh fastest woman in the world run preliminary finals. Think straight finals in all these. Yeah, man, they're just gonna do a time final. They're supposed to be starting at 8:30 in another few minutes. So they're not gonna go ahead and heats and final. They're just gonna run all the heats and do a time final. I mean, they told persons to go and actually warm up at their own risk, but they will be starting at 8:30. You know what I mean? So yeah, exciting times ahead. And people, she's there. I saw a video. She's there. Somebody sent me a video, people. And Brain Drain, Fear Spot, Jason. Yeah, man, the sixth fastest woman in the world is there, man. I saw her. Yeah, man, we saw. When she run, and we drop the video, we put that video in it. Everyone and all right, we just read that. Fear Spot, big up yourself, Toughy Rudy. The sound went, but it come back now. Okay. We're hearing now. All right, good now. Oblique in 9-7 form. Yeah, man. Akeem Blake will go sub 10 next. Absolutely. Oblique Civil was stolen by Calabar. Wasn't Civil from Homewood? He's not stolen, man. I recruit him. Yes, he was from Homewood. And he was doing well at Homewood as well. But when he went to Calabar, he improved tremendously. No doubt about that. My thing past National Stadium. Who named she? Shakira me at that one. If Civil stayed at Homewood, he would be on a corner rubbing his hand middle right now. To be honest, I'm not certain if that is right though, Brain, but trust me, Calabar did a whole lot for him in terms of improving from where he was to where he is when he was at Calabar. And them said the guru take him and, I deal with the matter. Shakari mental crew roll out. Can't wait, want to see what's up. Exactly, fierce. I'm just a push back the meat. Although I can't find it on the internet. Yeah, no. You soon see the Shakari fanboys rolling. Calabar's Crystal and Civil are the only hope for male track. Hey, you see you. Christella will be taking on Arian Knighton later on. I don't know if they'll be running in the same heat. I think so. But, yeah, man. Taylor, what next? Watch. All right, so big up all the subscribers of coaches. There's 16.1K. Yeah, man, big up on yourself. Thanks very much. I think that's all go on. 20K, 20K, 20K people. 3.999 to get us at 20K. Remember to tell a friend about us, because this is where you get your sporting experience. Which meal from Omo has done anything? Oblique Civil. Fresh, big up yourself. Spartan Clarbone. What was the wind reading for Elaine's race? I think the wind reading for Elaine's race was negative 3 point something, you know. So you can imagine both Civil and Liston makes the right move. Switching schools. Toffee, behave yourself. Bill. Bill Toffee. Toffee Rudy. Bill. That 16K is causing a problem. I told you to watch out when you pass 10K. Yeah, man. But I mean, what can I do, brain drain? We just do what we need to do over here. It's not like we all the people, man, tell them to subscribe now. We just give thanks for the support, because of the people them really make this happen in a brain drain. People make this happen, not me. I give the content. However, if the people now watch and like it and subscribe, it would still be down there. Yeah. So big up to the 16,100 plus subscribers. Getting to 16.2. Yeah, man. You can just continue to win like me in real life. So, Bridget, since you are the ones and zero person or AI, do something, man. Make we get to 20,000. I'm just kidding there. Switching from my mother's school to me happy but it was better for him. The people over in Birmingham are mad at Miss Elaine. Well, I saw them, met them mad. The goal was to grow from day one. Tell them fair spot. Tell Shatter fair spot. Oh, brain drain. Mega favor. Great show last evening, coach. Yeah, man, we have to big up every single person who was here last evening. Trust me, great show. Yeah, man, that one is done for the history books, you know. Digital library up and running. If you missed that show last evening, you can easy go and check it out. Let's not talk about Chuck and football night, because people are saying it Chuck why you pass and last. But we know say it's because we the best around here. Style and flavor. You think you're easy, Rap Smith? Yeah, brain chain. We don't know about that still, though, so people, we're not here to talk about. We're here to talk about FIFA, JFF, and the trip to Spain for the team next week. Ilian running now. How are you the yeah, Leon? Leon run already. Last night, good show. Yeah, man. DJ JJ. Rap Smith in the easy, you see. So back to football now, coach. Yeah, man. So the FIFA persons are in Jamaica. Matter of fact, I dropped the link from early tonight, you know, because guess what? We need to go sort out something. So I drop the link from early tonight. So we now wait. Once a year, I want to log on. Just roll in. You can call in, said speed, number 1876-474-3538. All right. Big up to the people over there on Facebook. Share on 200. Oh, share on the 200. Jaja, what may I miss that? 2255. Not bad. Big up to Brain Drain and another super chat. Best round here. We say you learn from me, Brain Drain. Only check on for you make you happy, you know, coach. I mean, when you say fierce, a real thing, man. People, please remember that this video is brought to you by Richos Roots Drink. Richos, sorry, Roots Drink. Richos, a true Jamaican experience. Yeah, man. And you know, well, we need a vacation. I should just join them on the plane to Spain. Yeah, man, them have tickets to Spain, you know. Alien 2255 season best. Alien does run herself into shape, you know. One them Alien. Journey with Kelly and big up yourself. Boy, it was refreshing to see a 1086 from a Jamaican male. Yeah, man. And the youth look smooth enough. Man, get out of the blocks from early, you know, man. I'm powered away. Neat form. Shadow Star. These Jubilee events help athletes them get in a shape. Love it. Yeah, man. Brain Drain says some mans think their absence would slow up the thing. They don't understand your support strong. People genuinely like the style and flavor. All right, Brain Drain, big up for that. You need to send me one of the Roots drink, you know. Fierce. You need a forward feet, you know. Wait, so I use nuts for it. Yeah, man. We are send a 6-pack for you. And then it cause no problem. No. But we are send a 6-pack for you, yeah, man. Remind me. Yep, definitely more in the tank. Definitely. Oblique to the rescue. Now, man, you gotta have what's his name? Blake is gonna be running sub 10, you know. Watch and see. But the writing was on the wall for civil, you know. Sorry, you know. The writing was on the wall. Because the man run 10 seconds flat, easing, cruising. Yeah. And this week, just come say, all right, a time for it, you know. He probably stun himself right now. Was that the gunman Watson chasing civil? Couldn't hold him at all. To be fair, you did make police beat the man at stadium and not beg for him. How would that now, Brain Drain? Remember, I wasn't at that match, you know. I wasn't at that match, Brain Drain. Bill. Brain Drain. I wasn't at that match. Don't go there. Even the 800 mil from GC run PB sub 149, yeah? 1086 is slow for Cena. Jesus, please. The man run 986, brother. And 986. Nine, not TEN, Winston Fowling. Brain Drain, Jason said, if you behave yourself. Because I wasn't there. That 986 was impressive. Him ease up and own always a negative win. Yeah. You're Akeem Blake to come in sub 10, but what happened to Julian Ford? Him injured. I'm suspecting that he's injured. Or he's nursing a nigga. Actually, I don't know who ran 1086 tonight. That should be a female's time. How badly injured is the college 60 meter, man? That's how Burnett. I remember you can call in people 1876 474 3538. If I said 1086, that would have been some sort of error, but it's 986. All right, so FIFA is here, and they will be having a series of meetings with the JFF. I'm not certain how long they'll be here, but those meetings are directly pointing towards regarding restructuring of the entire thing. We already know about the voting system that needs to restructure. We know about how only the parish association they are able to do their voting. So the numbers will always be low when it comes on to who really put them into power. So what is happening now is that we want to get more stakeholders on board. I mean, you can't have a federation and not even the coaches, not even the club owners, not even some players can actually get an opportunity to vote. Yeah. So this is a good look to know that these things can be sorted out by FIFA being here. I just hope that whatever they seek to implement or seek to reconstruct, it will be done in a speedily manner. Yeah, because it has been too long now. You only have a situation where only the parish association decide how this thing really go. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's basically it. We have not gotten any insight to what the meetings that or the discussions would have been so far, but we know it's about restructuring. We know that for sure. Um, the minister honorable Babsy Grange, she was the one who highlighted the fact that they are here for that particular reason. So anybody who wanted to hide that information, the minister does open up, and the person that was easier, the hierarchy, well, is Mrs. Soulmail, and they actually went to the Ministry of Sports, and the hierarchy, JFF hierarchy, actually accompanied them. So they had conversations there. You know what I mean? So definitely, we hope that things can be sorted out. Coach, 986 easing on in the last 15 meter. That was an easy 9-7 if Civil ran through the line. Yeah, man, but we don't want him run to so fast yet, Charles are come up, He hovering around the sub 10s. Yeah, long time. We don't know. I mean, Burnett has run. Civil is the second Jamaican to have run sub 10 this season. Burnett actually was the first, 999. We don't even know who owned the clubs. Who owned True Juice? True Juice, no. Who owned True Juice? I think are the company who own True Juice, Tradewind, Citrus. I think of them own it. What was that about? From what year you turn stutter still, Who that actually we are going to have a crazy women 4x1 team, 4x4 team. Jairus, big up yourself. Civil to keep his strength for the Charles. I have no idea. My phone was in my pocket. Is he an organic Jamaican? Hey, as I said that in a brain drain, I really need to go and listen. Listen about the interview. Because me hear the organic word that come up that do the rounds. You know, somehow that missed me. It was kind of difficult to hear everything that the guest was saying at one point. How is that Shikari race going? Any info coming in? Not yet, but once I get info, I go spill it. Let me see what going on. Hold on, I'm gonna send me go research, you know, so me I find. Yeah, research. All right, we're not seeing the info on that yet. So once we get the info, we'll update it. Got to see we finally have another sprinter who can compete. Yeah, man. Meet still on lightning delay. You know, start it. Wow. Toughy Rudy, keep us updated here. It missed me too, but I heard you brought it. No, you know, a cataract bring it up today. Cataract bring it up, you know, so I say I have to go back, go watch it. Leave out the track for this live, big bro. Hey, away people am I writing a comment me I read Gavin Ebanks. You see me I say? You can't just dismiss the people them comment. Tell the commenters to do that. All right, so I have some information on the delegation to Spain. Let me take out my phone. Plus Nations League tickets on sale. The tickets for the Nation League, they are now on sale. There's a link. There's a link that I'll be posting sometime for you to get if you wish to attend the Suriname and the Mexico game. Tickets are also on sale at the JFF offices, 20 St. Lucia Crescent, New Kingston, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Wednesday, May 25. Tickets are also available at the stadium on match day beginning at 10 a.m. Grandstand 3,000, bleachers 1,500. Please get your tickets early. That's the Jamaica versus Suriname on June 7th and versus Mexico on June 14th. So all the Reggae Boyz fans, this is information for you. This is information for you. Yeah. Information. Grandstand ticket 3,000, bleachers 1,500. And it's for the two games, Jamaica versus Suriname, June 7 and Mexico, June 14. So you can get the tickets at the JFF office, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Wednesday, May 25. Or you can purchase it at the stadium. Hold on, Claudia in the building. Big up yourself, Claudia. All right. So everybody know next week, Wednesday, the Reggae Boyz will take on Catalonia. All right. That's May 25. Now, the delegation that will be heading to Spain will leave for Spain on Sunday at 8 a.m. And all members will arrive May 23. May 23. They will return to their various destinations on May 26. That's the day after. All right, so I'll be telling you the delegation in a while. People who are going. Neo Sovereign, big up yourself, you know. Big up yourself. Yeah, man, TripleTreat around here. Where can we watch the match? Not sure yet, Leon. All right, so the officials, coach is like, when Civil gets bigger, will he regret wearing the wig? Hey, brain drain. I wouldn't wear that still, though. I mean, now wear that. You see me, I say? So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Now, Sheridan Samuels is the head of delegation, or she, I don't know. Paul Hall, coach, head coach. Meran Gordon, assistant coach. Warren Barrett, goalkeeper coach. Lamar Morgan, physical trainer. Roy Simpson, team manager. Dr. Bersha Cole, team doctor. Devin Lawson, masseur. Kevin Christie, physiotherapist. Norman Stone, equipment manager. So these are the officials that will be going. Coach Minzy are the Waterhouse and Cavalier players in Dominica leaving for Catalonia. Yes, they have to leave directly from there. They're leaving on Sunday, which is tomorrow. No, actually, me not help her that way, man. No, use somebody else. Shelly are my girl, but she can't do that to me. I not do it. Good time to plug near sovereign bylaws to FIFA and the JFF. By the way, where can we see it? On near sovereign laws and something. What's the name of it again? Civil Racer Club at CMA. Yes, Civil is at Racers. What am I missing with the wig thing? Oh, at the Olympic, Shelley and Fraser Price dressed her wig on the head of Oblique Civil. And it brought a frenzy, you know? Hold on. Oh, Eagle Republic phone in my pocket at the whole for damage. All right, but just I see that. So that mean I watch Olympic last year, Journey with Kelly. Yeah, Neo's laws and insights. Dropping a video relating to the restructuring tonight, uploading as we speak. So we have to go over there to support the Neo. Neo probably might as well come on and give you some insight on it, you know, so the people them know what them over there expect. So the link is dropped, Neo. We give man an extra votes. So yeah, thanks. Anyways, so we know the delegation that is going already, but I'm just gonna repeat. Corey Adai, Dylan Barnes, Jordan Cousins, Man, them have Jordan Clark Harris. It's Johnson Clark Harris, Joel Latibo there, Rolando Aarons, Kahim Paris, Blair Turgot, Ramon Howell, Tariq Zimenez, Kenroy Campbell, Cameron Lacey, Ricardo Thomas, Akwasa Chung, Junior Flemings, Nico Brett, Omari Hutchinson, Tyreek McGee, and Jamoy Topi. So that's the squad. Nothing has changed. We need to get Neo sub count up. Yeah, man. Give me a few minutes until this upload before my CPU freeze. Of course, something have to mess up. All right. The game will be May 25, 2022. Estavi Montelevi or Montelevi. The game will be 11:45 a.m. Jamaica time. 11:45 Jamaica time a.m. All right, so Jason drop news channel link, people. Wanna go support it. 125 people. Every single one I wanna go subscribe to it. If you have not subscribed. Too early disadvantages of playing in Europe. Big up Missy Bar Bridget. All right. The hotel information, they will be at Hotel Valdebas. Valdebas. Passage de Cantora. 26 17176. May stop that there something there. Because I not pronouncing those Spanish words correctly. Respect. Really happy for him. Show all them overseas college scholarships at least. So it's done. To that FC, that's our whole discussion, you know. Come over to the channel on Tuesday where we talk track and field, and we can have that discussion there. Joel Thomas is saying Calabar to the world. Old time desktop near sovereign. Oh, what's that? Ishmael. That's an old time desktop in my use. You need what you call it now? What do you think them in the gaming? Yeah, man, he eased up brain drain big time. Yeah, man, even if you're not gonna watch it now, people, just subscribe. Hit the notification bell. So even if you're not gonna watch it, you watch the first few seconds of the video, so it still get the views and support the thing. Pristine, big up yourself. That's not fair. The kids did what they feel is best for them. Yes, Kevin run sub 11 there. So I mean that conversation needs a little bit more direction and perspective. Coach says, will you be doing World Cup watch along or World Cup review show? You see, once World Cup are gonna be in November, you know. And the timing might be. Yeah, man, when we reach a bridge, definitely I want to do the watch alongs, depending on how things work out in terms of the timing. But a good question there for being full. It's gonna be in a time when we're gonna be having work. So we have to meticulously look into that, you know. Thanks, Claudine, humble queen. Nia, you were wait pan, you know, Nia. We talk about the reconstruction. Nia, we are wait pan. Everybody put up emphasis and say, Nia, Nia. Yeah, man, watch along I go on, man. Plus review. But probably not all games, not every day, depending on the time. Watch along, but no team to support. Sad times. Boy, I tell you. Kurt Steele, big up yourself. LOL. Really, the overseas is scholarship athletes a lot tend to lose them ways. That's why I say that. You have it both ways to that FC. You have people go over and make it. You have people stay here and make it. You have it both ways. All right? You can't be hard and fast on it. Subscribe to Neo's channel. So Jason drop the link there, people. CD, I'm looking forward to next Tuesday discussion. It will be lit civil throwing down the gauntlet. Yeah, man. That's the big topic. I know we have a guest plan for forward, but we have to talk about it when the guests leave. Coach, Brittany Anderson just ran 12.59 in some poor conditions. She looked very good too. Well, on the event start. Yeah, man, the link drop already near. See it there in a pin in the comment section. Hello, the meet start. Where Toffee Rudy are going with? Oh, we say US drop a tough 27-man squad. All right. Link drop already, man. France are win World Cup. Coaches says the match time are 5 a.m., 8 a.m., and 11. Oh, seeing? Yeah, man, we can do one, man. What you mean? 5 a.m. one we can do. Somebody said Brazil taking the World Cup. Brazuca! She ran with Tiana Marshall and they then pulled away from her. The athlete that stay Jamaica have more accomplishment. Yeah, man, it just started. Okay. Keep me updated. Keep me updated, super hype. And me can't have no eyes on me. Granny. Brazil day is done. Lucky if them get to the quarterfinal. Tell Neo I don't see it on his website. He needs to give us a link. A link to what? Hey, I know the paperwork the man put out in a Kyle Wallace. When that girl run, let me know here. When Chris Taylor and Knight run, let me know here. Super hype. Let me do this now. Hold on, let me try get the link for you. All right. All right, there's the link now. What did he put out on the bylaws? It has not been uploaded as yet, Kyle Wallace. He just indicated that it is uploading, but because it is an old desktop that he's using, it's taking a little while. Coach Minty, do you believe that Brenna Williams can make off of that? Why? I don't know, you know. Yes, super. Jano, I don't see no link. Neo, this 100 meters hurdles will be very interesting come Charles. All right. There you go, Neo.
Hey, coach, finally. Sorry, guys. Listen, I don't know what was going on, but I wasn't seeing the link. But finally it showed up. I don't know. Maybe it's a browser. I thought get some computer lessons from
And Neo, you know your volume is kind of low.
Really?
Yeah. See if I can turn up something. or go closer to the machine.
Any better? Any better, coach?
No.
All right, hold on. Let me come out and then come back in, okay?
All right. Yeah, me know you're interested in that, you know, Kyle. Neo Sovereign, we can hear just fine. Oh, me no know. When Neo forward, me can hardly hear, honestly. And this big old thing cover me ears. Sound cancellation. I hardly can hear what go on outside. So me no know.
All right, coach. If I shout in, you have to excuse me, all right?
Yeah, man, me I hear a little clearer now.
All right, cool.
Or a little better.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, talk to the people them near.
Yeah, guys. So, the video that I'm about to drop, talks about this whole restructuring by the JFF. So, you guys know I've been working on the reform bylaws. The reason I haven't put it out yet, Kyle, is because I'm actually, I've gotten word that JFF is going to put out their own set of bylaws. I tried to get in touch with somebody from the JFF to see if we could have a discussion about my proposals and what they have, but they don't seem to be interested in talking to me about it. So what I wanted to do was to give them some more time to see what they put out there before I put my stuff out there. So that's gonna be coming soon. Nevertheless, this whole thing about them restructuring, the video that I am uploading actually, there's this process called normalization where FIFA actually can, either suspend a federation or put them in this form this temporary committee called a normalization committee that will force them to make changes. Now, I don't think, the JFF was not suspended, and I don't think that it actually is in the process of normalization. However, I think that they're coming close because, even though we've all complained that, we're going to report the JFF to FIFA, people are making complaints out there. But I do believe that FIFA has been watching, and hence, this trip by the FIFA regulator. I think she's come back to Jamaica because she is trying to get them to pass some of those reforms. From my reading of the whole situation, it appears to me that the JFF are stalling, right? That they're the ones who are, trying to go, adopt half measures rather than go full way in terms of opening up the federation and allowing, new people with new ideas, with new management skills inside the federation. So this is what is going on. So I didn't get a chance to read or hear what Babs Grange said with respect to just what the regulators were doing. But what I do know is that the JFF started to reform their bylaws as early as 2019, right? So it's since that time they haven't completed the process, or not as far as I know. I don't want to misspeak. Not as far as I know, but they certainly haven't adopted it yet. And I think they wanted to have their Congress vote on it. But again, I think the regulator is in Jamaica in order to get that done with some speed. And I think that if the JFF continues to stall or adopt these half measures, they could find themselves either suspended, like Trinidad and Tobago has been, or they could find themselves in a situation where a normalization committee has been imposed on the federation.
All right, Neil, sorry to cut in because there's a question by Hot Chili. If the JFF gets suspended, what does that mean?
Well, if the GFF gets suspended, yeah, I mean, it means that it could mean that some of the teams that are in, the under 20 team, the women's team, it could mean that, because the federation is suspended, they actually lose their chance to play in those competitions. But I doubt that will happen because, they've already spent money, they've already qualified, and so I think what would probably happen is, rather than a suspension, they would have normalization. Suspension is where, FIFA suspend them altogether, stop their operation, stop funding them. Whereas normalization is a situation where they give them the opportunity to make the changes, but the FIFA, along with the federation, appoint a committee that would, do the day-to-day running of the JFF while the reforms are on the way. So I, hope that answers the question. Let me see if there are any more questions here.
All right.
What I will say is, Coach, that while I was doing my research, I don't want to get myself in too much trouble here, but I've come across many regulators from the government or from the bank or from different institutions. But this particular regulator from FIFA, it's a lady. She's a very nice looking regulator, Coach. So pardon me, I hope that don't sound improper, but very nice looking lady. But the thing is though, she is a young person, but she has a lot of experience and she's no joke. So, I hope that the JFF takes her seriously. Yeah, Eagle Republic. It is supposed to be a corrective measure. But the thing about it is that with the normalization committee, FIFA has the opportunity to extend it until the time until whatever reforms that they're asking for, they're able to extend it for a long time until the reforms are pushed through. However, I think that at some point, if they're supposed to be adopting new bylaws since 2019, and it is now 2022, and it looks like they haven't done it yet, as far as I know, then I can just imagine that there might be a level of frustration there, and wondering whether or not they are really committed to doing the things that FIFA is requiring them. Because the truth is that we are not the only, Jamaica is not the only Fed that is having issues, and FIFA had their own issues, that big lawsuit and all of this stuff. So FIFA is trying to clean up their act, but they also realize that having the member federations run in a good way, having them do things where their teams are more competitive, where they're raising money, it is also good for FIFA's business, because you can imagine that if Jamaica is a team to reckon with, as we all hope it will be, then viewers will be increased, competition will be increased, and when viewers increase, all of those broadcasting rights that go to FIFA to fund it will increase as well. So it is actually in FIFA's interest to see that these reforms go through. I think the only problem is though that there's a criticism that in the past that FIFA let some of the feds get away with too much, and even though they've undergone normalization, people still feel like FIFA didn't go far enough. Sometimes the changes that they make, the domestic public in those countries where normalization is taking place often feel dissatisfied, which might be something we experience here in Jamaica. On the other hand, if the JFF continues to frustrate the regulator, then she could probably bring down some fire on them. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Kyle, I am. So Kyle, let me tell you, that's a good question. Why play nice with them? So Kyle, my grandmother used to tell me when I was a boy. She said, "Listen, honey catch more fly than vinegar." And also, I am aware that some of the issues that are being discussed, even some of the issues that I raise in my video that I'm going to release later tonight on my channel, there are serious issues. And the last thing I would like to see, honestly, is for the federation to be suspended, because even though I don't like their management style and what's going on, for me, the suspension and the danger of teams not getting to play and all of those players who have been looking forward to competition, that's a risk that I don't like. So if I can, talk to them in private and, we agree on something and, maybe they say, well, this looks good, that looks good or whatever, because I think if that is done, that would be preferable. But trust me, Kyle, I don't think that, I think I've extended a hand. And, listen, I'm not going to claim to be an expert, but I think that I did a pretty decent job. And I think that, they need some help. They have their goals, they have their agendas, but I am of the belief that, there's room for different agendas to flourish within the federation, and if different agendas flourish, it could benefit everybody. So so I'll try that way first. Oh, okay, Kyle. So let me tell you what. You say you would love to post it on the Reggae Boyz forum. Yeah, I think I will do that. So this is the thing, Kyle. To me, if it happens that they completely ignore me, and if it happens that they release some bylaws which I think are, playing around, meaning that they've made reforms that really haven't changed anything, then definitely I am going to put my stuff out there, and I would definitely share it with you, because I would like people to read it and compare and to see what is available to the JFF, things that they could adopt. Now they don't have to adopt my thing word for word, anything verbatim, but certainly some of the things that have been raised in there I think should be under discussion. Tonight or whenever, if you guys get a chance to watch the video, you will see that some of the proposed reforms that the JFF have made, would include something like increasing the number of votes that the Parish Association have. So they'll say something like, well, we're going to make it to 60 votes, and we're going to give the Parish Association each 3 votes. And then you do the 13 times 3, and you realize that doesn't really change anything, because essentially they still have the majority of the votes, and that's not a meaningful change, even though if you look at the numbers in the Congress, the numbers have increased. And if you just stop at that, you would think that something was done, but in actuality, nothing was done. So, if there are changes like that, which are just for window dressing and hasn't really begun to address the problems in the federation, I think that all of us, here should engage in a public campaign to try and pressure them, and maybe to try and pressure the FIFA to look into it. I mean, we are here having this discussion. For all we know, the FIFA representative may see this video. I hope she does. I hope she sees the video that I release. Because I think that the reforms are necessary, and I think that in spite of their fear that they might lose some power, they might lose a little bit of power, but they have so much more to gain.
There's a question on the screen there, Neil.
Oh, sorry. Triple E, no, they didn't say why they were not interested to talk. They just did not answer. You know, perhaps it is that I may have sought to make contact with the wrong person. There are people who, you know, who are good people who say, well, I could put you in touch with so and so, and I will probably take up that opportunity too. But I reached out to somebody that I thought, you know, might lend an ear, somebody who is an attorney, somebody who I know is a brilliant fellow who might just, for the heck of it, you know, give me a listen. But no response. You know, so I'm not sure. But at this point, they didn't say why they're not responding. They just did not respond. And the truth is, a lot of the times that's how the JFF does. Or if you know, if maybe if you get Mr. Speed or somebody on, I think I've spoken to Mr. Speed before, and he basically said that just isn't his department. So, you know, yeah. So yes, brain drain. You ask if Speed should be nervous. Well, I can tell you something that in the video that I'm releasing tonight, I did talk about Mr. Speed and the apparent conflicts of interest. I think definitely. Here's the thing. So Mr. Speed wears so many hats in the JFF, and he definitely has so much influence in the JFF that I am not quite sure that the will exists within the JFF to actually do anything to impose change on the way, you know, what Mr. Speed does. Now, to be fair to Mr. Speed, in the past when I've spoken to him, he said, well, listen, you know, I am in an advisory role. I only do policy. There are other people there who will approve the things I, you know, want. So if they're approving it based on my recommendation, then it means that, you know, they agree with what I'm saying and there is no conflict thereof. There is a conflict. They don't mind, right? No, technically, you know, that's just incorrect, right? In the bylaws that I have proposed, there is a whole section that about conflicts of interest, and it requires all of the executives and members of the board of directors to sign something saying that they have read it, that they understand it, and that they promise to comply with it. Now, sometimes there is an apparent conflict of interest, but sometimes you can take that you can disclose the conflict, and then you can bring it to the board of directors, and the board of directors, having heard your disclosure, will assess whether or not, you know, there is any real danger with this conflict, or if you're getting over on the federation. So, you know, sometimes they can clear an apparent conflict and then it won't be a conflict anymore. But the point is, there needs to be a special committee, you know, maybe the board of directors or a special committee which does that. And so every time something like that comes up, they will look at it, they will analyze it, they will vote on it. And, you know, so I think that is an important thing to have in your bylaws. But on the other hand, here's the thing. So Speed has this apparent conflict of interest. The media talks about it, we talk about it. It is so obvious. Now, even if the JFF does not, you know, or doesn't lack the political will to make any change where Speed is concerned, Brain he should be concerned that FIFA is looking, and FIFA might say, well, you know what? You guys don't have the will to put an end to this, but we do. And we're requiring that some changes are made because, you know, unfortunately, Mr. Speed has become notorious with a conflict of interest where the JFF is concerned. Yeah, Kyle, your question is, what about clubs and coaches having the right to vote, key stakeholders? So, yeah, one of the things I included in my bylaw is that, you know, there are a lot of football organizations that, you know, including coaches associations, player associations, futsal. I mean, a whole range of different organizations and groups that could apply for membership in the JFF. And so it wouldn't be just a situation where you name the groups that were eligible to apply for membership. What you would do is lay out certain criteria, and if there are organizations out there that can meet this criteria and they are performing functions in football, then they would be able to apply for membership. And basically, once they meet the criteria, then the board of directors would allow them to become members, and they would be able to vote in the Congress too. So Kyle says, or what other state? Okay. Yes, sunflowers. Okay, all right. Let me address Kyle first. Or what other stakeholder should have voting interest? Yeah, so Kyle, that word stakeholder is a popular word that the JFF use all the time. And I mean, the word is kind of ambiguous because there are people and organizations out there that might not quite fit, the narrow conception of stakeholder. Like for me, I believe that if there's a company out there that installs turf, or a company out there that will develop football fields, and they are doing this, I guess you could call them a stakeholder, but it might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you're thinking about membership in the federation. But a company like that, I think, should be allowed to apply for membership in the federation, because obviously that's an important function. And so to me, when you're having a democratic process where ideas are being put up for people to vote on, they would probably be able to include some idea that perhaps the Coaches Association doesn't have. And so, so I kind of, stay away from this stakeholder thing. But if you ask me, as again I said, I don't like to just talk about stakeholders. I want to talk about the function different footballing organizations have and whether or not they can meet the criteria for membership in the JFF. Yes, sunflower. So here's the thing. I am going to, I don't really have my plan is to do videos on the bylaws, but also to the videos here on Coach's Decks, to the videos with Manning's Man, and actually to the video with anybody who is interested, because the truth is, as I said before, I really want a public pressure campaign for us to have the JFF make more changes than the bare minimum that they might make otherwise. And it don't have to be something that I write, because I don't want to make it look like I am saying, well, I know everything and I'm an expert and I'm forcing them. But the more sunlight that we shine on the bylaw, on the changes that they're making, and the more thought that goes into it, hopefully will improve, what goes into that bylaw. Yes, Rockford, what is the worst case scenario? So the worst case scenario would be suspension, where they suspend the federation and basically stop funding it. They would say that their teams are no longer to participate in FIFA regulated or FIFA sponsored competitions until either a new federation, a new executive for the federation is appointed. So they could definitely do that. So yeah, I would say that suspension would be the worst case scenario. And of course, none of us want that. None of us want to be blamed for that. But then and again, you don't want to be limping along all your life in misery and mismanagement and conflict of interest. For me, Jamaica is a giant when it comes to track and field. I really believe that we could be giants in football as well. I know we are far from it. It might take more than the 10 years that Paul Hall talked about. But I think that until we start to make these reforms, we don't even get on the road until we start to make the reforms. We can have camps, we can have all these window dressing things, but unless your documents and statutes are, directing the way that the path that you want to go forward, to me, that's just window dressing. You're not really serious about doing what it takes to become a superpower in football. Yeah, J-Ross. So what can the layman do? The layman can subscribe to my channel. No, I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. I think that what the layman can do is to continue to watch channels like these, continue to subscribe, because I tell you what, right now I'm looking at Coach's subscribers. He has 16,000 subscribers, and so what that means is that as his subscribers grow and he has more eyes, people take him more seriously. You understand? So when people view and discuss and talk and share ideas, that is a big deal. When people subscribe and share these ideas, and well, let me give you an example. So while I was doing my research, I came across an online journal that talks about FIFA's regulation of the member federations. And I also came across interviews with Miss Solomé, right? And what I'm understanding is that the circle within which these people operate, they're not so big. You understand? And they are operating in the virtual space as well. They watch videos, they participate in these things. Miss Solomé, I think, is like 39 years old, so she's of the generation like us, where ideas get exchanged, on YouTube and people learn things or whatever. So, I mean, as I said before, what you can continue to do as a layman is to present your own ideas in the chats and continue to subscribe, and have fun while you're doing it. So Stefan asks, will the JFF changes or proposed changes be made public? Stefan, that is a good question. Because here's the thing. It is unclear to me whether or not it will be made public. We, at this point in time, I'm not sure, exactly how far along the path they are to changing their bylaws. The danger about that, Stefan, is that, so for instance, they had the website, which displayed the old bylaws that Captain Burrell had reformed. Well, that's the one that came about when Captain Burrell was the president. That one, firstly, undemocratic. That one, I think CONCACAF as well as FIFA said needed to change. Now, that had been on the JFF's website for a long time. JFF took down that website. So if they adopt new bylaws and they don't make it public, then we really don't know what they're doing. They can have their own private conversations with FIFA, and FIFA will walk away thinking that they've made changes and that those changes are sufficient. So that's definitely a danger. But what I will say, and it's connected to the previous question, is, once the public and the journalists and, the guys who, the YouTubers are journalists, once they continue to put pressure and ask questions and queries, sometimes we can find out, what was adopted, so yes, the truth is, I don't know, if they will make it public. I think FIFA actually, well, listen, the government of Jamaica and FIFA have rules where the thing is supposed to be made public. But what exactly does that mean? Does that mean that they have to put it on their website, the website that they have taken down? Or does it mean that if you walk up to their office and go inside and ask to see, they'll show you? You understand? That's really cynical. But, they could hold a position that coming to their office to look at it meets that requirement. I don't think it does, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. Yes, Rob, so I think a few questions back, I said that the biggest danger was suspension of the federation, in which case, not only would we not be able to play in any FIFA sanctioned competition, but when FIFA suspends you, they also let the other federations, that are members of FIFA know that they're not supposed to have any games or any interaction with you until you meet the requirements, which would make them remove the suspension. So Everton Jackson says, Neo, I agree with broadening the stakeholder voting base. How do you deal with the issue of expediting decisions making with a larger voting group? How do votes carry timelines, etc.? Okay, so Everton. So one of the things is that you do have the General Congress once per year, and major decisions will have to be voted on. So yes, by increasing the size of the Congress, you could argue that they're going to be it's going to take longer. But even when the Congress was small, you still only had that the general meeting where they take major decisions and voted on them. But one of the features of the bylaws, including the one that they had under Captain Burrell, is that you can have standing committees and select committees, and these committees are usually created by the members are usually selected by the president or or the board of directors, and then what happens is that these committees can deal with discrete issues, and then you will say how much members are necessary for them to be able to vote, right? So so they have the capacity to reach that number. I know the term is slipping my mind right now, Everton, but yes, they once you have these select committees, they can write rules which say, well, we can take this and this decision, and by way of the committee, and then if it is something that needs to be ratified by the Congress, then it will be done later. But so long as the committee votes on it and follow those rules, then for the time being, those things can be adopted. So I think that is how so I don't think it will be any slower than it was before, but with better management, which I'm hoping the bylaws generally will improve the management, I anticipate that it would be quicker, decisions will be made quicker among these standing committees and subcommittees. All right. Any more questions?
So Neil, anything else you think that you is worthy of sharing that the audience didn't ask?
Coach, there is so much. What I can tell you guys is that it's going to take time to share everything, because I think that the proposed reform bylaws is like 26 pages long, right? No, I don't expect to talk about every single detail of it. But again, because it is so long, I think what will happen is time will reveal what people find really interesting. And so, just be patient. I'm gonna get there. I'll make this promise. So everybody teasing me about my outdated desktop. If it broke down and it not working, then I will just skip ahead and expedite the process and start circulating the bylaws and doing the interviews, so that we can get to the issues faster. Again, though, Coach, I was kind of, as I said before, I'm trying to time some of these discussions with with JFF's adoption of their own bylaws, And again, not wanting to say too much and too many specifics, with the hope that maybe I can make contact with them, or if I don't make contact with them, to hold back some of the specifics so that we can compare and contrast what I propose versus what they have adopted.
I think that aspect of it is very critical in here, because this is intellectual property, as you'd know, and you just want to put it out there, and then you find out that excerpts of it is going elsewhere. So
You see,
one of the things that can be done, like you said, is they compare and contrast
mhm,
with the one that is there now,
mhm,
so that persons can be aware of what is there and what you have presented, so
right,
that there won't be any conflict, or if anything is would have been removed from what you have,
mhm,
then people will know that it came directly from Nia's laws and insights,
right.
rather than somebody come up with a brilliant idea.
Right. And you know, coach, in the spirit of full disclosure, I will say though, and I said it on my own video, that, you know, nobody wants to reinvent the wheels, and we all stand on the shoulders of giants, right? So I mean, there are ideas, because, you know, when I was looking at the bylaws, I looked at the USA bylaws, the Canadian bylaws, um, you know, bylaws from the English FA. I mean, I looked at a number of places. I looked at legal publications. You know, I brainstormed myself. You know, so I think that the way I put them together has made them unique. But I am disclosing that some of my ideas, you know, of course, come from my research about the way other people do things too.
So Ian is having a little concern there, saying that hope FIFA doesn't ban Jamaican football.
You know, Ian, I doubt it, Ian. Um, but I think what I will say is that, um, you know, they have been going through a process with FIFA for a while. This is, the I think this is the regulators maybe third visit to Jamaica. There is a danger that she can be frustrated if they haven't done anything, but I think that they have made small changes. I think that Mr. Ricketts, at the very least, has suggested that he's open to reform. You know, I think there are other members there, like the president of the St. Catherine FA, can't recall her name. Is it Walker? Walker Brown, right?
Yes, Elaine Walker, bro.
I really like her, you know. You know, she's talked about reforms as well. So you know, I think that you know, I don't think that we run the danger of suspension altogether. It's just a matter of, you know, doing. There's a difference between meeting the mere requirements that FIFA requires, right? And really adopting changes that will make a difference in the way FIFA is run. Um, those two options, I believe, are what we need to focus on. I don't think that there is a danger that you know, we're going to get suspended. So Everton says, Neo, have you delved into the financial management of JFF, since that seems to be a major issue that many football fans and stakeholders have? You know, Everton, I can't say that I have delved deeply into that. I think that the access that we had to their audited report was the report that they had online, I think was for 2019 to 2020 or 2018 to 2019. I mean, that had limited information in it. But other than that, I really don't have access to their books. You know, I'm not an accountant. I think back then, you know, Heal Up Cranky, he and I was reading through it, trying to understand what was going on. He has way more expertise in that area than I do. But what I will say, though, is an important question, because in the case of Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago right now is in the process, I believe, or they may have been in the process of normalization solely because of their financial mismanagement. We do know that the JFF have financial management issues. So yes, that is a danger. But in my research, I came across statements from Michael Ricketts and the treasurer of the JFF, who said that they have updated their accounting system, that they have complied with some of the requirements of FIFA where that is concerned. It seemed that they have made more headway in that department rather than in adopting reforms in their bylaws. That's right, Eagle Republic. So he says FIFA will take corrective measures first before punitive measures. Yeah, I mean, I think that FIFA at least proclaimed to say, well, for them, they want everybody to be able to play football and the grassroots and stuff like that. The punitive measure of suspension would stop that. So I think that they would definitely try, as many means as possible before going down that route. However, there have been many federations that were suspended. And remember that when there is suspension, it is temporary, and it is really a suspension forcing the people in the respective federation to clean up their act for there to be a new executive board and president. So it would only be temporary, but I don't think that we're going to get there when it comes to the JFF. Triple E. So Triple E says, in comparison with all bylaws you saw, was there any significant difference with JFF bylaws raised the concerns? Triple E, let me just say this much. When Captain Burrell became president of the JFF, there were 130 people who were able to vote in the JFF Congress. When Captain Burrell reformed the bylaws, the number of voters went from 130 to 13. Let me say that again. From 130 to 13. No, that's crazy. I like Captain Burrell. I went to school with his son. He was no joke. He was a force of nature. But that really is alarming. So yes, that definitely raised some concerns. Another thing that really raised concern for me is the fact that they don't say anything in their, in that particular set of bylaws about the trademarks and logos that belong, that are associated with the Federation, the Reggae Boyz trademark or the Reggae Girls trademark. Anyways, welcome, Cranky. Let me just pause.
Yeah, man, welcome, Cranky.
Bless up. Good night, Neil. Good night, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta come join the conversation.
Yeah, man.
You heard me calling out your name, Cranky, because they were talking about the financial reports that were once on JFF's website, which is no longer there. Asking about what did we learn from it? I was still in, it's not my area of expertise, but there wasn't much to be learned other than that the JFF was seriously broke.
Yeah, I mean, they were in what I call financial dire strait, and not sure if they've had more sources of income subsequent to the, publicizing those financials. I'm sure they must have from FIFA and other sources. But if we are to believe some of the information that comes through different avenues that talk about funding for different things the JFF want to undertake and the lack of funding, then we will all assume that they have some financial challenges. I do think it's aspirational to try to change much of what the JFF is doing. I think we have, I'm going to use my own term, so don't take it the wrong way. We have thrown the grenade. We think we have exhausted all options. So should I throw the grenade? like Putin with a nuclear weapon. So we'll see what happens after this. Because now the JFF is going to be on the defense, right?
Yeah.
Because if someone engages you and asks you to engage and you say no, then they have to explore options going to give them access and give them the transparency they desire. And I think in this case that what may happen, look, I think the JFF has to realize that positions in public organizations, to me, they can't be lifelong positions. They can't be lifetime positions.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to give, look, we don't have a monopoly on intellectual capital in any place in society. There are new ideas coming on board, new people coming on board, different viewpoint, different perspective. You have to give them a chance to be part of the process. And I think whether it's these forums or other forums, people are asking for more transparency, more access, betterment of the football in a number of different areas. And maybe it's happening because if I list the different forums and hear what's happening in Jamaica, I haven't been to Jamaica since COVID, by the way. But I really haven't traveled overseas since COVID. But I do plan to go as soon as possible. But if you list the different forums, hear different information, things are improving. But the question is, what's the magnitude of those improvements? And what's the speed of such improvement? And I think those things are important, right? And we think we can do better. I was at an event last night in Maryland. I just drove back to New York. And I can tell you that the Jamaican culture is very strong across the globe. I was at a wedding for a Guyanese and a Nigerian that I was a Jamaican party. I was them up play reggae music. But anyway, even though a friend of mine will say that's not true, but most of it was reggae. They're playing all sort of reggae, both old and new. And I was there thinking, because I always come back in my mind to football, which is we have so much to give. We have so much that we have done, but we're not maximizing our potential, nor are we utilizing all our resources to get things done as a people. And it's very, very frustrating. So whatever avenue you hear we talk about football, it's always is that we think we have the innate athletic ability. We don't have the coaching. The players are not as technical as they should be. They're not as developed as they should be. And I heard Coach with the young man from Sportsmax. Very good interview, by the way, I must say. If you haven't watched it, you should listen to it. I think he's very, very smart, by the way. But I did think he evaded the question that asked about the JFF and why the JFF didn't receive the pressure from the media, the traditional media that they should. I didn't think he evaded that question. He talked about what they were doing to promote football, like running under 20 for under 20 or under 21 for a couple of years and the financial implications of that. But he never answered that question, which I thought was interesting. But I do think in small countries, or developing countries, I should say, because I know people get mad at me when I say small, there seems to be a clique amongst the elites. And they will come from different segments of society, but they all know each other, and they all coalesced, which then becomes a problem, because then you close doors and people don't get access. So my hope is that people like yourself, Neo, who are really patriot, nationalists, well, we're nationalists, more patriot, that really want to get things done, really want to see improvement, really try to get change done, keep pushing the needle. Because I don't think we should operate as we have in the past in terms of how the JFF operated. We have people in the JFF who have lifetime positions. That cannot be right. There's a lack of transparency. There's innate conflict. I'm not going to say, conflict that's put together. It's innate conflict in the structure that doesn't work and shouldn't work in any public organization or non-for-profit type organization. So I do think that changes need to be made, have to be made. And you mentioned the person from FIFA, and that the view is that she's a tough person and she may work to institute change. I do think at some point, if the change don't materialize they should, you may have to go drastic. You may have to lose football for a couple of years. Sometimes you have to feel pain to get positive results and to make progress. Real pain, not some superficial pain, real pain. And if the JFF don't want to change, then you have to change them. You can get changed by democratic way. I can get changed by a different way, right? The way in which you're going to say, you know what? you don't want to get it done the nice way, then we have to institute change. We have to push you to change in a way which you don't like. But the change needs to be made. As I said, better must come. So
it's weird though, Cranky, because I think that, you know, a lot of people may already know this, but while I was researching, I came across it that right now the JPL, the changes that were made to the JPL, were not quite, you know, voluntary. Apparently, some of those changes, the changes that are there now with the PLCA, I believe, was something that CONCACAF actually, you know, kind of insisted to the JFF that they change, because before that there was a PFAJ, right, which had like majority member on that body. The majority of the members on that body were people from the JFF, and then you had the PLCA, which was, you know, the majority on that body was I think from the clubs. I think at some point Edward Seaga was the chairman of the PLCA. And I think what used to happen was that the PLCA was, you know, that was an entity that raised the money or found sponsorship for, at the time, I think it was called the Red Stripe Premier League. And then the PFAJ, which was dominated by the JFF, were the ones who chose how the money was spent, right? And of course, that created conflict between the PLCA and the PFAJ. And the money would oftentimes be spent in a way that benefited the JFF and its executives as opposed to the clubs and its teams. And, you know, locally, I think Edward Seaga spoke out against it. But I think that there was no change until CONCACAF intervened and said, listen, you guys need to get your act together. And so...
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to be forced to be changed, Neo. You should always be looking at things and say, you know what? We're trying to get better as a JFF. We want to get better. I'm always saying this. We don't have a monopoly on ideas. We solicit ideas. Most companies do that. Why does Amazon actually rate their product and give them feedback for almost everything you buy? They're trying to get information. They can access information, source information, use that to improve so you can come back and buy their product. JFF want us to buy their product to go to games, right? They want people to buy product to go to games. They announce the Nations League and, you know, what tickets you can buy for what price. But if you want people to come support your organization, make it so that they want to do so.
Yeah.
Make it so that they have trust in you. They believe you have integrity. They believe you're for the betterment of football. You're not in it for yourself. Create an environment where people want to be part of your organization. And therefore, that would allow then people to then want to support your organization, including financially. Right? So you have to create that environment. I'm not sure that the JFF has really worked hard to do so.
Yeah, I mean, they brought...
Hold on, Neil. We have, Kyle who wants to give his input in the conversation. Kyle, welcome.
Good night, gentlemen. Again, it's good listening to you, gentlemen, make some solid points. I'd like to say first, you know, I agree with Cronky, and you know, I don't agree with Cronky on much, but Cronky is on point. You know, I mean, with Neo and his bylaws, which I value so much. You know, I believe that we should take it to the JFF, to put it, you know, bluntly. I mean, we have been watching them basically mess up Jamaican football from God knows how long. From 1998, let's just call it like that, because from then, we haven't really been to another World Cup. You know what I'm saying? And the fans are frustrated. You know, the foundation of any football entity is its fans. And it's time for us now to basically take it to the JFF. You know, I can understand from a gentleman point of view why Neo would like to hold the bylaws and basically give the JFF time to basically you know, come out and make change. But you know, that's like asking, you know, leopard to change its spots. That's not going to happen. So it's like wasting time. You know, I really don't see no reason why you should hold the bylaws. I believe that you should put it out. And number one, you know, like you said previously, you know, your bylaws is basically nothing new. It's a compilation of other bylaws that you have researched, you know what I mean, to basically put together. So you putting it out there basically wouldn't really be a drawback, be a negative. We need to put pressure on the JFF and all the media entities, online, on the radios. That gentleman that you interviewed the other day from Sportsmax, him also, I liked how you called him out and you asked him, so what are you saying in regards to the JFF and its corruption? And he basically flipped, you know what I mean? He went back and forth. So, and my last point is this. I would love to post the bylaws on the Reggae Boyz forum website. So I'm asking Neil, when you're going to let it go, contact coach will contact me and I'll put it up. Or if anything else, coach, just give him a number. All right, because I'm in New York too. Oh, and one last point, I'll be down there to watch the game against Suriname. So
Okay.
I'll definitely link your coach and we can check out the game.
Yeah, man, no problem.
All right.
Respect, Kyle.
All right.
I'll be in touch.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Neil. You were going to say something.
No,
And
no.
before you go ahead, yes, Siobhan, I did indicate that the team will be leaving tomorrow for Spain, or some members of the team. I guess some of them will be traveling from different direction. I even revealed the hotel that they'll be staying. So all of that information was put out earlier on in the stream before Neo and the Cranky joined us. Go ahead, Neo.
No, I was just gonna say 2 points that as I was talking about the changes with the Jamaica Premier League, that so CONCACAF intervened and kind of require them to make the changes where now there is no PFAJ anymore, just a PLCA, and they of course got Christopher Williams to come in, and there's a board there. There's not just him alone, but there's new management, and even though these guys have started off during the COVID lockdown, I mean, I really think that there are green shoots when it comes to the JPL. I kind of have a feeling that even though we watch the games and say, boy, they need a lot of improvement, I really get the impression that, they're going to be moving in the right direction. And I think that should stand as an example to the JFF, that sometimes if you just stand back and let some new blood, fresh blood in, it's not necessarily a threat to you. It could actually end up benefiting you. And then as for what Kyle said about taking it to them, definitely we need to do that. But again, one of the things is before, taking it to them, revealing certain things, especially when you don't have any lines of communication with them, you kind of run the danger of inadvertently causing certain things too. And I'm talking about causing things with FIFA in terms of, suspension or something like that. I don't want to, put my foot in my mouth and cause something inadvertently. So you have to tread cautiously. And then another thing too is that, yeah, they to a great extent, I've seen where they've been messing up Jamaican football, but they've been there. But I also want to recognize that there is so much talent in terms of football administrators in Jamaica, younger people. I can think of like Coach Edwards. Why can't I remember his name? Mr. Price. I mean, people like that who have been around for a long time and who are really, I mean, they're not looking for the limelight. They're really looking to improve the football. And, so, I mean, those are people who have been in and around the JFF, who can go in there and inject some of this new energy. I think the JFF just needs to, I'm not saying that they need to retire, but they definitely need an injection of new blood, an infusion.
I just think the JFF, I'm not sure the JFF, look, if I don't want us to have what I call ineffective pressure. So you say you're pressuring me, but I'm just sitting there smiling, laughing at you because I know that you can't change the status quo, right? So I do think if we really want meaningful change, we got to really strategize about how effects has changed. And sometimes you have to work with organization institutions may not have the same desires you do, respect for you that you may want them to have, hold you in the same regard, but you're working for a larger goal. You're working for that sort of utopia, in a sense. And that's your objective. It's not about you. It's not about them. It's not about your feelings. It's about you trying to achieve a goal, which is something that's important, and is something that's going to bring value and going to change the direction of travel, and you have to work towards that. So I want to make something clear. I'm not calling JFF corrupt because I have no evidence to do so. And even if I did, I don't call anyone corrupt in public forum. That's not what I do. What I would say is, though, and I may say the JFF has shown ineptness, and I'll point to things that substantiate my perspective, right? And over the years, we've talked about this ad nauseum, which is the football. We keep talking about 98, 1990. I think we just need to move away from 98. 98 is gone, done. We talk about what does good look like. Some people say, what does great look like? And work towards that. And what that means is that you don't have to recreate the wheel, just like you have done, Neil, which is I could have looked through more recently, not in detail, but the U.S. Soccer Federation bylaws, very comprehensive document. And by the way, JFF is out for public consumption. And it incorporates football or soccer all across America. You'd be surprised all the parties who have access to that organization and the input that they can have in the organization. It ain't about no 13 parishes, frankly. It's a much wider spectrum, a much wider audience. And what we have is not fit for purpose in terms of who have access, who have votes. That doesn't work. And if FIFA is going to change anything, that has to change. That's not acceptable. That does not work. You can't have a small bunch of people, the same people that goes from the left hand to the right hand, who make football decisions in the country. Because they're not the ones who play football. They're not the only ones who are interested in football. They're not the only ones who are football for the best interest of the country. That has to change.
The debate,
in fact, it should.
The debate that is going on in the JFF right now is, it's crazy. So the debate that is going on is whether, the executives are saying, listen, FIFA is pressuring us to make some changes. We have to expand the number of votes. And then, so on the one hand, you have the executive who are trying to protect their own power, saying, listen, we have to do a little bit so that we can get FIFA off our back. And then in response, you have many of the parish association heads who are saying, why you want to give this person a vote and that person a vote? You're taking away our power when you give all these votes to other people. So,
But that's the object. That's the goal, because it hasn't worked. Parish association, your power has not worked for the betterment. Why can't we all just figure out that we're trying to move Jamaica forward? It's not about you. Why can't we get away with the I thing and focus on the we thing? It's a we thing. Yeah. It's not an I thing. It's a we thing.
You're having a discussion between bad and worse, meaning the executive who have all of this accumulation of power arguing, and I don't mean to say this about every parish association head, because some of them are out there in the trenches and I am not. But you have a discussion where you have a executive that has all these powers arguing with the PA that is saying, listen, keep your power as long as you have to rely on us to get that power that makes us important. Forget about, broadening the franchise. It's tragic, it's disappointing.
Yeah, no, look, I think I always look at different countries and organizations that I think are effective, are find ways to influence things. If you look at the UK, for example, when things are not going well in club, the fans think about creative ways to pressure owners, which is almost impossible because the owners, it's difficult to pressure them. But if the Super League was one example where fans just said we're not having it, and their uproar changed that, right? Or you look at Liverpool once when they're trying to raise prices and the fans walk out at certain points during the game. They come up with different ways to try to influence because the club is their lifeblood. I think we got to be more creative and more thoughtful and more strategic about how we're trying to effect change in Jamaican football. And maybe there's a fan club or something with an organization, a body that's working to figure out ways Sometimes it may be ways which may not be digestible, but as I'm saying,
I cannot.
you have to do things sometimes if need be to make meaningful change occur.
I just want to say this. I can assure people that some things are better not said, right? There are actions and types of agitation that are ongoing and better not spoken of. So I know people might look at me as being naive, and I don't have a problem with that, but don't think for one moment that everything is seen is everything there is, right?
We want the JFF to be successful. I want it to be clear to people.
Right.
And to the JFF, we want the JFF to be successful. But more importantly, we want the football to be successful. And we don't want any party, group, sector, whatever it is, as an impediment to progress, impediment to success, to continue the status quo.
Right.
So the JFF, if you're coming up with bylaws, come up with something that's digestible. Don't come up with something to keep the status quo where you're trying to fool the general public, but what that should entail. Come up with meaningful change, which we know those changes, we're going to have a truly democratic process. Not some hybrid democratic process where, you still control the voting and you're still going to be in your seat. If you deserve to be in your seat, you should be in your seat.
Right.
But if the general populace think that you should, who have voting powers, then you should be changed. Yeah. So.
And I want to remind people too that there is going to be, there are elections. People run for office in the JFF. People, I believe, also run for office, meaning to become members in their parish associations and to become the head of the parish associations. There are a younger generation out there who have left the island and have studied football elsewhere, who are, learning things a different way and coming with new ideas. And so as time goes on, I think that, hopefully with the cooperation of Coach and other people on YouTube, maybe there are some people out there who, Coach's 16,000 subscribers are subscribers on Cataract Oligarch channel or JD or whoever, can interview some people who are interested in running for these offices, and have people in the diaspora, people at home, and these people are at home in Jamaica, throw our support behind them, whether it is in terms of financial support, whether it is in terms of technical support. There are people out there who in short order will be running for these offices, and so laymen can participate in bringing change that way too.
The gentleman from Sportsmaster, what's his name again, Coach? I can't remember his name.
George Davis, aka Pink Watch Boss.
So I'm not gonna call him Pink Watch Boss. I'm gonna say George Davis, or GD. So George talked about his disappointment with how the World Cup campaign went, and he pointed out the capability and competence of the teams who are in a position to go to the World Cup, the ones who have got there and the ones made the playoff. And I listened to that discussion and sit there back and think. And then he talked about given. I'm going to infer what he was saying was, given the composition of players that we had, or the players we had to choose from, I'm going to infer what he means that we should have done better, right? We should not be at home. We should be in the World Cup in November. And Coach do his watch along talking about which Jamaican player doing well and how the team is doing well. And you walk away saying to yourself, the only way that could have been, because we weren't as organized as we should have been, even though we had COVID, and we cannot afford the 2026 World Cup to come, and which is easier to make this one, and I'm sure we're going to find a way to mess it up because we may not be as organized as we need to be. So the changes have to come, and the changes have to be material. They can't be superficial. They can't be around the edges. They can't be tangential. They have to be material changes. And the changes also, not just change for change's sake, but change where we know those changes are going to result in better outcomes. So and I must say kudos to the YouTube channel, because those individuals who, as I said before in previous discussion, the traditional channels, they are segmented in terms of what they can focus on. YouTubers can be in the same subject. Every YouTuber in the same subject, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. After a while, it resonates, right? It resonates and it's out to the general public. But I still don't think we are as effective as we'd like to be as it relates to the JFF, because they're insulated, and that insulation has to change.
Yeah, for sure.
So, coach, you put it to bed yet? Let me go on sleep.
No, man, I'm not sleeping, man. But I'm going to have to leave shortly. So it's a good discussion, and this is a bold step by Neo. People, like Neo said, he has had some sleepless nights doing this research and putting the document together. So it's no pure, as my granny would say, type of work. It was hard work. You know what I mean? So we have to big up Neo. We have to go and check out the document. I mean,
yes, I say this, coach, which is Neo, don't drop your document till the JFF drop their document. Don't make that mistake. Don't drop your document. No, let them drop them document first. Because what you want is when they drop their document and we all read through it and you drop your document, we can compare and contrast.
Yeah,
that's what you want. Don't drop your document first. Never go to market first. Not a good way.
He can do like the videos that he's gonna be doing. It's not gonna be touching on everything, right, Neo?
Right. I mean, basically for now, rather than revealing the documents, what I'll be doing is talking about the process that JFF has done in terms of putting together their reform, the reforms to their bylaws. That's on the way right now. But there will come a time when I do that, when I do drop it. And also, again, I still maintain that if there are any back channels where there can be a discussion as to, maybe sharing ideas, including ideas with the JFF, I'm open to that. Back channels are good things. They stop wars. You understand? Even people who are at odds with each other have these back channels, and you're frightened sometimes the things that can be achieved. So if somebody from the JFF is watching, right, and you want to give me 5 minutes of them time, definitely I'm open to talking. But I do agree with Coach and Cranky that I'm going to withhold what I have, or the vast majority of it, until FIFA completes the process of having them amend the present bylaws that they have.
All right. Kyle is back with another question. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, hi, Neo. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just declare I'm Kyle Wally from the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club. So the question is this: is it appropriate for the Reggae Boyz to basically put up, the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club to put up a donation to any parish FA who will present the bylaws in the next JFF meeting or election? And you think we could organize like a GoFundMe page to support the bylaws? Just to put pressure on the JFF, get the fans involved, to let them know how serious we are, that people are basically feeling it.
Right.
So that's my question to you.
Yeah. Okay. So let me start by saying that generally, I don't think that there is any problem with that, with an idea like that, generally speaking. What I will say though is that one of the things FIFA looks for when it comes to the federations is what they call third party influence. Now, it's kind of an ambiguous term. They don't want third parties interfering with the business of the federation. But I don't think that an effort by the fans to agitate for change to the JFF bylaws would be considered some kind of inappropriate third-party influence. When it comes to donations and stuff like that, that's something that you would have to, think about more clearly, when you are going to do it, how you're going to organize it, who contributes, etc. Right? Because of course, you want to be sure that you're getting money from the right people. You understand? So, I mean, those are other things that, you have to talk about. But generally speaking, yes, Kyle, I mean, I think that's a good idea. Again, though, the issue just becomes, when would we do something like that? Would we do it prior to them putting their bylaws out? Or would we do it afterwards? Or will we end up like one of the questions somebody asked, is it possible that JFF will change their stuff and just keep their bylaws, the change ones, in their office, and we don't know what has occurred? That is also possible. So, but definitely your idea is a good one. Well, but it's going to take, planning. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it's something that we definitely have to explore, you know what I mean? Because, I'm in New York, actually, and the Reggae Boyz Supporters Club is a corporation in New York, and it is incorporated in New York.
Right.
Yeah. So it is definitely something that I believe that we should explore. And, when I got on there, I'm going to link with as many people as possible to see exactly how far we can take it.
Well, Kyle, we should talk I'm in New York as well.
Sorry?
I said we should get in touch because I'm in New York too.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Coach will link us. But I don't believe that the JFF really understands how frustrated and how palpable our frustrations are. I mean, it is beyond boiling. It's beyond boiling. And, I believe that they're going to be in for a quiet surprise this time around. Because, I don't think that is Reggae Boyz Supporters Club is going to be as dormant as it was back in the past, given the access that we have to online entities like you guys. All we need basically is just to organize, and simple as that. And once we organize, we put the plugs together. I believe it's going to take time, but everything will fall into place. The foundation of any football club, any football entity, is its fans. Simple as that. Every great coach will tell you that. And the JFF is no different. They're playing with our football. Anyway, thank you, sir, and we will link.
Before you go, can I just ask him a question, Coach?
Yeah, before you go, Kyle,
Kyle,
question.
Do you currently have a copy of the JFF's constitution on your website?
No, we don't have it. Let me just give you a tidbit of history. My father was the secretary of JFF back in the 80s.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't believe much has changed.
The reason
a lot has changed since Burrell has been there, but,
But the reason
it's frustrating.
The reason I'm asking is because I came across Reggae Boyz website, a kind of supporters website. I don't recall exactly what the name of the website was, but they had a copy of the old Reggae Boyz constitution. I think this is what was there originally, prior to Captain Burrell's reforming the bylaws. That's what existed prior to that. And so I can tell you that I also read those bylaws and looked at it when I was putting the ones that I have to get as well. But the important point is that website has one there. You understand? So, and they have had it there for years. So your previous question about displaying it on your website, I don't think there's any issue at all with that.
So here's my one question, Neil. We can talk about this all night. I know that Wednesday has to go. But what's the difference between the bylaws prior to those changes by Burrell? What's the major difference?
Well, the major difference is that under those bylaws, you had 130 voting members, and then Captain Burrell changed it to 13.
Yeah.
So, and in the old ones, you had the Coaches Association, I think maybe ISA. There were a lot more different types of footballing organizations that were back then. They were members of the JFF, but after Captain Burrell's reforms, they were no longer considered members of the JFF, and so
it was too democratic. You're saying?
Well, for Captain Burrell.
But Neo,
yeah.
Neo, that change happened after he got beaten by Box Hill, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happened.
Okay.
I might be misspeaking, right? So, Kyle, maybe you can fill me on some of that history, because that was a little bit unclear to me. So Kyle, tell me now. So what happened?
No, I was saying that those changes happened right after Burrell lost to Box Hill.
Okay. So was it Box Hill who made those changes, or was it Burrell?
I think they probably happened after he regained the position, isn't it?
Yeah, when he went back into power.
Right.
When he went back into power, he decided that this will never happen again, I assume.
All right, so that's what it was.
Right.
That's right, Cranky. That's my understanding of it. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, maybe we go back to what it should have been and shouldn't have been changed. Bless up, Carl.
But anyway, I have to run, and again, Neo, thank you for the work that you're doing, man. I mean, you guys, you Coach Cranky, the conversation that you guys bring to the table, it is much needed. You know what I mean? You guys dissect it and you present it in such a way that, even a child can understand what is going on. My whole issue is simple. How in the world can you run an organization like this? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Penny wise, pound foolish. If you can organize your business to a standard that is running, that you're bringing in money, what are you scared of? Instead, you're comfortable with living off crumbs. Something is wrong with these people. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And it's from, Cranky don't want to hear it, but from 1998. And it doesn't matter who is the president. It's the same, shenanigans, the same foolishness. Like, we're stupid. No, I mean, this is it. I'm done with it. And I salute you for being the gentleman and having patience with these guys. But I am done with it. I'm ready to go to war. Let the cards fall where they may. We have to organize and present our points, and we need to be heard, because we are also stakeholders. We are paying customers. We are paying viewers. We want service. That's all we want. A proper functioning Jamaican football culture. That's all we want. Anyway, gentlemen, good night. Thank you for hearing me out.
Yeah, man, big up yourself. So yeah, man, good conversation there.
But say, Coach, today's a good day, Coach, because Civil run 986. So I'm very encouraged by the mayors. Yeah. I was excited when I saw that race today.
And Brain Drain's little sister ran too.
Brain Drain as a sister?
Yeah.
I thought Brain Drain was an alien.
Well, when you hear his sister, then you know what I'm talking about, Shakiri. So, I mean, it's a conversation that can go on all night still, Cranky and Neo. But
I know.
I really have to run off.
All right, that's of course.
But there's another night coming off the TripleTreat. So if Neo feels the need, like you want to, touch a little pointer tomorrow night, the platform is available and ready.
Well, Coach, if you don't mind, what I will say is, so, I've got to learn this computer thing better, but I'm going to upload the video that I made, and I am going to release it. So if people watch it, and they have questions about some of the things that were said on there, then I will be around. I'm an erudite, so I'll be around to answer questions should people have questions, should coach have questions or Cranky have questions about some of the things that I said in the video that I am going to release after I get off here, if I will figure out how to do it. But so definitely, coach, I'll be around. I know that sometimes this issue can get a little bit boring though, but it's always fun for me. So
yeah, man. All right, so people, Neo will be dropping the video later on tonight. Watch it, and then we can have a continued discussion on it in tomorrow. You know what I mean? So again, share your final thoughts, Cranky. Then we go back to Neo, and then we close out the show.
Well, I'm encouraged by the interest and the passion of the fans. I think Kyle mentioned there's a Reggae Boyz supporters club in New York. I think Kyle should think about how we can expand that group to be global in nature. We have our people across the world have a process by how that group works. If that group is well organized, well situated, well funded, they can, whether from a distance or with closer proximity, influence how the JFF operate. I believe that can be done if they're strategic in their approach. But I think it's something that should be considered when you think about it. We have a lot of people across the world who are just interested in Jamaica, period, and Jamaica's football, and probably would love to be part of such a collective and such an organization. So whatever we can do as fans to show our interest and to be positive in helping the football, we should try to do so.
Neo.
Yeah, I've said a lot tonight, so I won't say much right, in closing, other than to say, just encourage people to continue to join coaches' desks and, the other YouTubers, keep on subscribing, keep on growing, because, every little ripple can make a giant wave and create change. And I think that I definitely think that they are listening not because they're nice, but because they have to. So we should keep on talking, we should keep on shouting, and I'll be right there with you guys.
Yeah, man. The Neo's channel, it was shared in the comment section already. So if you roll back, you should be able to see it, or we can ask Jason, if could you drop the link again of Neo's channel so that the persons who weren't here, they'd be able to see it. All right, so we'll just be closing off for the night again. Big up to Neo, big up to Cranky, big up to Kyle, all the persons who supported the stream tonight. Big up yourself, and all 159 of you, go over to Neo's channel and flood him channel, being a subscriber. If you roll back up a few messages, Stefan, right, you'll see it. Jason dropped the hold on, let me pin it right now. Let me pin it before I log off here. I think I'll be able to see it and pin it if it's not gone. All right, see, Jason drop it again.
Thanks, Jason.
All right, replace pin comment.
Hey, people, I want to know, say, all of this stuff that you see coach doing, and are these guys on YouTube. And one time, I remember Cranky I think we were doing a watch along, this sharing and switching from screen and all of this stuff, it ain't easy. It ain't easy.
I think the most difficult part is trying to engage brain drain. That's what I think.
So it is pinned. Everybody, you can go into. Oh, the poll finish 55 to 45. Let me check out the poll. I had a poll running now. So, would you participate in a Reggae Boyz or Reggae Girls theme song writing competition? There will be a prize for the person who can write and compose the best song. The song has to be one for the Reggae Boys, one for the Reggae Girls. The where I wrote it could not hold so many characters. So I'm happy that Dre Anywhere reminded me of that. All right. So let me see the songwriters them roll out. And you tell me if you are interested tomorrow, and then we'll go about getting the competition off.
I thought it wasn't a coach. I need a producer. Can't write it other producer.
So you can't check a producer, I can't come on.
No, none. It's a good thing. It's not participate.
New York, you know, all producer there in New York, you know, the big apple, you know.
Yeah, coach.
All right. So big up again, people. Click on the pinned comment in the comment section and subscribe to Neo's channel. Some interesting stuff will be coming up later on tonight. All right. So stay safe. Until next time. Peace out.
Peace out.
Richest Roots drink works for menstrual cramps and pain, migraines, fatigue, stress and tiredness, sinusitis, builds immune defense, bloating, enhances male bedroom prowess, and Richest Sorrel Roots drink works against all types of cancers and tumors, memory loss, high cholesterol, insomnia, nervous issues, flu, and many other illnesses. For your Richest Roots drink and Richest Sorrel Roots drink, contact us now via WhatsApp at 876-528-9534. Richest Roots drink and Richest Sorrel Roots drink. Richest, a true Jamaican experience.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.